Flosstube. I'm Annie and I'm the Proper Stitcher, and this is Flosstube episode number 16. Welcome back. If you are returning, if this is your first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel and like the videos below. And thank you so much for all of my returning subscribers. I really appreciate the time you take to watch my videos. I know you have so many Flosstube shows that you have at your fingertips, and I am so glad that you come back to my channel every Thursday, and I read all of your comments. Thank you for all the wonderful emails and messages you send me. I can't tell you how wonderful they are and how much I appreciate it. I know it takes time to do those things, and I'm so thankful for you. I do not have a lot going on this week. I did get some stitching done. I do have some finishes to share with you. It's just been so hot here that we've been kind of hunkering down and staying in as much as possible just to get some reprieve from the heat. I am not a fan of this type of weather, so I'll be glad when it starts to cool off a little bit. So I do have a couple of questions to answer from last week, and I will just jump right in and get everything going. We have quite a bit to go over today. Like I said, I have a couple of finishes to share with you. I have a previous finish I want to share with you, some whips, a little bit of haul. I have some goals I have set for myself to share, and as usual, I will end the show with some Flosstuber shout outs and some giveaways. So let's start with the questions that I had. I just have a few questions. Most of the questions I try to answer in the comments or emails that I get, but a few I thought that you might want to hear. So one person asked me, and I need to get better about writing down who is asking what, but someone asked me about the piece that I usually keep in the case behind me. And I only pulled it out to share with you all today in this episode. So I thought it was a great question because I often forget to pull things out to share with you. And this is one piece that I really do enjoy. This is from Farm Folk Art. And this the woman who painted this, she has a Facebook page and she sells her things on Facebook periodically. She has recently switched from a professional Facebook page to her private Facebook page. Apparently, she was having some trouble with the different Facebook algorithms, and I don't know why, but they were making it difficult for her to sell things on Facebook. So I will link her name below, but the name of her company is Farm Folk Art, and her name is Janet E-R-B-E. I think it's pronounced Irby, but E-R-B-E. And what she does is, it's just beautiful. She does watercolor and makes these beautiful antique, German-inspired antique paintings. And each one is original. This is one that I purchased about a year ago. And she does the watercolor in such a way that it just looks so aged and so old. And then she mounts it on an old book cover, a vintage book cover. So this is one that I purchased, I think about 2 years ago, but then I've also purchased some Christmas ones from her. And my favorite one that I have is of an old world Santa. And I will show that one to you when I pull out my Christmas decorations. I usually start decorating for Christmas the day after Halloween. So I will show you all that as I pull out all of my wonderful Christmas things. I'll start sharing them with you. But I just love her work. It's so unique and so creative and beautiful that I just wanted to share that with you. So I will link her Facebook page below. I sent her a message and told her that I would do that. Hopefully that's okay with her. And then I have this antique key in front of it, and it just has an A on it. And I found this in an antique store. So I keep these two things together in the cabinet behind me. So I thought that was a wonderful question. Thank you for asking. Another question I had is how many whips I have. Well, that is something that I will share with you all in my whip parade video I'm doing this weekend. I know I mentioned I would do it last weekend, but last weekend just kind of got away from me. I wasn't feeling well a couple of days, and I just did not feel up to doing a video. So I'm gonna do a whip parade for you all. this weekend, and I'm going to add some special twists to that too that I'll discuss later on in this show. And somebody asked me, a couple of you asked me about the Merry Yuletide, Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread, the Merry Yuletide pattern that I had stitched into the big pillow. And apparently you all are having a hard time finding it. I do know that Brenda Gervais has it on her website, which is Country Stitches Online. But I believe she's on vacation, and I believe when she goes on vacation, you cannot add anything to your cart. So I believe she turns off the shopping features of her website when she is on vacation. I will double check that, and I will find out. But I have not seen the pattern anywhere. I stitched that about 8 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. So I do not even know if I still have the pattern in my stash. So I have one box of just Brenda Gervais patterns, and I'll go through all those and see if I still have it. But it is a beautiful piece. If you find it, I highly recommend you stitching it. I wish I had it stitched also in a frame piece, but I do love my big pillow, and I love it on my bed. So those are my questions. So what I wanted to go into now is my previous finishes. And one thing that I'm going to share with you is my very first quilt I made from a class. I showed you all my very first quilt last week, the Quilt As You Go that I made with the jelly roll, the Christmas jelly rolls. But after I made that quilt, I really decided that I enjoyed sewing and I enjoyed quilting, and I did not know what I was doing. But I told my husband that that's something I would like to have for Christmas. And so he and my children went to a quilt store and they bought me a sewing machine. It's kind of it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that a seamstress would have or a professional quilter would have, but it definitely has enough on there that it makes some amazing quilts, and it's wonderful. And I am so happy that he got that for me, because when he bought the machine, I was able to go in for a class to learn how to use the machine, and I decided to sign up for a quilting class that they had. So in that quilting class, I made my first quilt from an official pattern and an official class, whereas the other one was my first quilt just I made from YouTube. So most of my quilts have been from YouTube, but this is the first one I made from a class. So this is a pretty simple design, and I don't know the pattern. I can find it, but this is one block that I pieced together, and then just one big square. I think these are 10-inch squares. And then I did the borders. First time doing all of that. I am not sure what the pattern line is because it's all mix and match. I even think I have some Bonnie and Camille Thimble Blossoms from their Early Bird collection in here. So my very first quilt that I made from a class, and I love it. And then this is the backing. Very summery, very springtime. But that really started opening up the world of sewing to me, and quilting, and fabric. And so it's the best Christmas present I have ever received, one that I just still enjoy even as recently as yesterday. So that is a previous finish. Now, you all may have noticed on Instagram and Facebook that I had another finish. That I have two finishes to share with you this week, but one is one that I've been stitching. So I have been stitching Blackbird Designs Peace Rose. And I started this one a few weeks ago, and I finished it. So I was laughing because I took a photo of this and realized I had left off a motif. And so when I took the photo and I was looking at it, I realized something was missing. I left off this motif, so I had to go back in and add it. But I just love how this turned out. I love all the colors. And I'm going to show you everything I used to finish this. So I used all the called for DMC floss. And there are 6 colors. Here they are. And just the blues and the peaches and the pinks, so pretty, and the greens. So I had this fat quarter of Tilda fabric. This is, oh, what collection? Maple Farm collection. And so that's where I got this backing material. Beautiful shades of blue, kind of a twilight blue with the birds. So I used that fat quarter and I made the backing. There are a lot of wonderful tutorials on YouTube on how to make the pillows, pin keeps. And I followed Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, and I'll link it below again. She has a wonderful tutorial on how to make these pillows. And it is very easy to follow. And so I used those videos. I did interfacing behind the stitched piece. And then here is the backing. And then I stuffed it with polyfill. And I had some vintage rickrack in my stash that I used for the trim. I had this rickrack from a retreat I attended, a cross-stitch retreat I attended in Pennsylvania a few years ago. And I just bought a lot of different types of trim. And I think I got this from Beth Seal with Summer House Stitchworks. But I just love how it is kind of has a tint of grayish blue. And I followed Brenda Gervais, posted a video the other day on how she attaches rickrack to her pillows. And I followed that technique because I had not used it before, and it was easy. And it gives you the opportunity to then go in and pinch the rickrack and make it stand up a little bit. So this is Peace Rose by Blackbird Design, and I just love how it turned out. It's bright and cheery, and I went down a rabbit hole. I was not stitching this. I pulled it out of my stash, decided it was a good time to stitch it, and I'm so glad I did. I'm glad I diverted from my usual whips and added in a quick small finish to, it's just what I needed, and I love how it turned out. So if you have trouble finding it, I'm sure a lot of that it will, you can find it available on some of the websites. I have not seen it lately, but I'll keep looking for it. But that's Peace Rose, Blackbird Designs. And then I had a finish that I had stitched this piece, and it's been in my long stack of items to finish, and I just had not taken the time to finish it. But it's part of the Brenda Gervais Mice series. And this is Plum Pudding from With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I think I showed this to you all a few weeks ago unfinished, and I just decided it was a good time to finish it. So, I can't remember when. I think it was in May, or I think it was early May when I went to Clinton, Tennessee with my neighbor to go antique shopping. Well, I purchased this old, oh goodness, I'm drawing a blank, a pan. I guess this is a bundt pan or a muffin tin. And I purchased it then, and not knowing what I was wanting to do with it. And I decided that this would be perfect for my mice cooking. My mice in the sewing room, I love, and I just wanted to go ahead and get these two finished. So the reason why I was holding onto this piece for so many years and I had not finished it is because I always thought that I would make this into a tree topper for my tree in my kitchen, because it's all food themed, and I just thought it would make a cute topper on that tree. Well, after I found the tin, I realized that maybe this would be a better use for this piece. Priscilla Blaine with Stitching with the Housewives, she did something similar with a Little House Needleworks or maybe a Country Cottage Needlework. She finished on a tin as well, and that's where I got the idea. So what I did is, I'll take this off and show it to you. I finished this on 2 different mounts of sticky board. 3 different mounts. So the stitched piece I did on 28 count even weave and Monaco even weave. And I coffee tea dyed this myself several years ago. So this is stitched on 28 count Monaco even weave, coffee tea dyed. And what I did is I mounted the cross stitch piece on sticky board. But first I always put interfacing behind the stitched piece. Any stitched piece I do, does not matter how I finish it, I iron interfacing on the back of it. And for a couple of reasons. One, it gives the stitched piece more substance, I guess. It makes it stiffer, gives it a little bit more protection, protects your stitches behind it. It also just gives it it just makes it more crisp. And then when I mount anything on sticky board, I always use 2 layers of batting. And the reason I do that is I want it to be extra puffy, but I also want to protect the stitched piece as well. So this has 2 layers of batting on it. Then I did a layer of, this is Bonnie and Camille's Thimble Blossom. I believe this is from Vintage Christmas, but it has the pinks and the reds, which so does this. So I did a layer of that behind it. And then I put this pink rickrack, giant rickrack, in between the next 2 layers. I did it between the 2 layers of fabric. And this is something I got from Dames of the Needle on Etsy. But it's a giant rickrack and it's dyed it's like a peppermint color. I don't know the name of it, but it looks like a peppermint to me. And I still have a lot of it left. And then I did the plaid for the back. The plaid is also from the Vintage Christmas Bonnie and Camille, I believe. Let me see. Yes, it is. It looks a lot like, it is Bonnie and Camille. And I'm sorry, it's from Sunday Stroll. The thing with Bonnie and Camille fabrics is their color line through all of their different patterns and fabric lines, they all go together. So that red is the same red as the Christmas fabric that I had. But I was going to use the Priscilla's Pretty Plaid, but I liked the way this red had a little bit more pink to it, which my other pieces had a little bit more pink to it. So I mounted all 3 of those together. I did the rickrack in between the 2 sticky board layers of fabric. And so I made like a sandwich out of it. And then I glued magnets on the back of the sticky board. And I can now mount it on anything. I can set this off center if I wanted to and do something like this and put it on it, prop it against my counter, on my counter. I have an antique rolling pin I'll probably use in the vignette that I stage with this at Christmas time. But with the bow, what I did with the bow is I took some greenery that I had. They were pretty big picks and I clipped them down, tied 2 pieces of them together, and then I made 2 different bows. I had this really cute ribbon from Hobby Lobby. Got it this year. I got it actually a couple of weeks ago. They're starting to put all their Christmas out, so I know you can get it. It's a wired ribbon and it has glitter on it. And then it has the peppermint striping. Thought it was perfect for this. I have red and white plaid ribbon, made 2 separate bows, and then back on that trip that I went antique shopping with my neighbor, I bought those little tiny cookie cutters that were toys, and I used that in the center of this. And then I had some peppermint on a string, just some, again, I got it at Hobby Lobby last year. It's like a big bag of just hard candy peppermint for decoration. And I put 3 of those on the greenery and just glued it down. So this is my finish of Plum Pudding by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I love how it turned out. I cannot wait to display this for Christmas. I just love these mice. I love all of her mice collections. I did use the call for colors that she suggested in the pattern, and just so cute. Absolutely adorable. So that is my second finish that I had this week. So let's move right on into my whips. I did not make some progress on some of my whips because I was trying to finish piece rows, and it just took a little bit more time than I thought it was going to wrap all that up. But then I got distracted by Christmas stuff. So it got me distracted on stitching my regular things. So that is why some of my whips will not be a part of what we talk about today. So let's start with Clarissa Beaumont. I haven't brought Clarissa Beaumont out in a while. Clarissa Beaumont is a design by Little Robin Design, and I am doing this stitch along with Kim Gavlik at Stitch Etc. And a lot of you have joined us. This is a very low-key stitch along, and I am so far behind on it, you'll see that it is low-key, but some of you have finished, some of you are just starting, some of you are wanting to start. It is a PDF download, and I'll link her shop below. It's Little Robin Design. PDF download, wonderful pattern, comes with a great history of Clarissa Beaumont. So this is called Clarissa Beaumont 1875, and here is my progress. I finished stitching, since I showed it to you last, the line at the bottom, and I started on one of the moth, or I think it's a butterfly motif. And this is super easy to stitch, and I am using 32 count mocha. I wish I used the called for linen. I think the colors would show up more. I think this needs to be aged a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm still happy with it. But I am using all of the called for DMC, and it calls for a lot, but I'm using all the called for DMC colors, and they are beautiful. So many colors in this one design. But if you decide to stitch this with us, you are welcome to join anytime. But we're using the hashtag ClarissaBSAL. So if you want to join us, please do. Super fun and easy. Then for my Tomato Tuesday start, I was so excited to get this one started. I've been wanting to start this design for a long time. Luminous Fiber Arts, Counting is Hard. I should also put an addendum on here that says leaving motifs off is hard, or something I do on a regular basis. But this is so cute. I love it. It has everything I love. Blues, tomatoes, birds. Here's my start. I started this on Tuesday. This is 32 count vintage country mocha. And the modeling on this is perfect for this design. I am using all of the called for DMC colors. Oh, my tomato magnet got stuck. But here are all the called for colors. So pretty. I think this is going to be a quick stitch. I am using my Dot Dot Goose bag with sewing tomatoes on it. And if you want to join on the Tomato Tuesday fun, this is something I also do with Kim Gavlik with Stitch Etc. Just use the hashtag Tomato Tuesday. So many designers are using tomato themed designs, and we just thought it would be fun to make it a hashtag and make it every Tuesday. So on this last Tuesday, I started Counting is Hard, and I want to finish this into a white frame and hang it in my sewing room. It is so cute. That bird, those scissors, that DMC bobbin, so cute. And that tomato. She even has it finished into a drum on the back. I just think it's such a cute piece. I want to see the whole thing. But that would be adorable if you finished it into a drum and put a strawberry or a tomato on top. So cute. Counting is Hard. Luminous Fiber Arts. I'll link it below too. You can go directly to her website and order it. I think it's also available through some other shops. My Quaker Christmas was slow going this week as well because of a rabbit hole I went down. I'll show you in a minute. But this is a stitch along I am doing with Artie and the Vintage Stitcher. Artie is the Vintage Stitcher. We are doing this very easy to join stitch along. This is from Bygone Stitches. This can be found from several shops. You can also do a PDF download. It's a beautiful Quaker Christmas design. This is the first time I've ever stitched a Quaker sampler, and this is the first time I've stitched something quite this big. So if that is intimidating to you, you can stitch this into little small motifs, make a dough bowl full of different of those motifs, or make them into little ornaments and make a Quaker Christmas tree, or blend them in with your other ornaments. It is such a beautiful design, but I love the monochromatic look of it. I am stitching this on 32 count cream Edinburgh. And this is my progress. Since I just dropped my needle. Since I saw you all last, I think I stitched maybe 3 hours on it, or 2. I worked some more on this motif through here, and which is on the pattern. I am right here. So I have done this part. So this is my progress. I am using the 3 classic color work colors that are recommended, which is Balsam Fir, Cupid, and Yield Gold. The Balsam Fir is the dominant color, and I had to buy several skeins of that because I wanted to make sure I had the same dye lot throughout the whole project. But a lot of people, I've seen so many different color choices on this. Some people just started, some people have just finished. Some people had this started and they pulled it back out. Some people are stitching Quaker Christmas too. So as you can see, it is a very flexible, easygoing stitch along. If you decide to join us, please jump in anytime. I would like to have mine finished by the end of November, but that may not happen, and that's okay. But definitely will try very hard, and if I don't have it done by this Christmas, I will have it finished by next Christmas. But I have seen this in so many different color options, some multicolored, some in different shades of blues and greens, and it's beautiful. I love that creativity. If you decide to stitch it, post your progress on Instagram or Facebook. I have a Facebook page, so does Artie, the Vintage Stitcher. I'll put her Facebook page below as well, and mine. But use the hashtag Quaker Christmas SAL, because I love seeing your progress. But this is it. And what I have decided to do is, for my next goal, is I am going to just stitch Christmas for the next 2 weeks. So that means I will have a lot of time on Quaker Christmas and on other Christmas projects. So I'll get more into that later, but I'm hoping to have more progress of this done. So that is a Quaker Christmas Bygone Stitches. I did not get to work on my butterfly cloche or on my Tis Season or Modern Folk Embroidery. So I will show all of those in my Whip Parade video. I don't want to show them again this week because I didn't make any progress on them this week. So I will put that progress in that video. So what I did when I can't believe I did this. I went looking for my Stitching with the Housewife fabric, this Ada fabric. And when I did that, I was like, oh, I really want to stitch her. So one night I sat down and I started stitching her. And then that opened this whole Pandora's box and this rabbit hole of these different things I wanted to do. And so I'm about to go through a little bit of that. So I started Merry Mrs. Claus by Stitching with the Housewives. This was released last year. You can still get this on their Etsy shop, and I'll link it below as well. But I have all of them in this series, and I showed you all the Mr. Jolly Claus a couple of weeks ago that I have finished. So I started Merry Mrs. Claus, and this is my start. I'm using all of the called for colors that Priscilla has recommended. This is 28 count Fabrics by Stephanie. I believe this is called Chalk. It's the one that, it's slate or chalk. It looks like the chalkboard. And I have a big piece of this. Oh, I know how I went down this rabbit hole. I wanted to start this piece. And I thought, well, do I have a piece of fabric big enough for that? And then I found my big piece that I have, and I thought, oh yes, I do. Because what I do with all of, when I have a series or like my Prairie Schooler Santas, I have all the floss, all the fabric in one bag, and I just go and grab it. And so with these from this series, they use all the similar colors, and so I have them all on a floss ring, and they are in the same bag. So I can grab this bag. This is a Nikki's Notable bag that I got last year. So I can grab the bag and know that I have everything I need, even different fabric patterns if I want to change it up. So when I went to look for the fabric for this piece, I realized, oh, this would be a quick ornament. I'm just gonna sit down and stitch it. So I started stitching that. And I do have enough fabric to do the, and To All a Good Night. So that'll probably get started pretty soon. But what that did is it made me think, oh, I would really like to stitch some Christmas ornaments. It's July, everybody's doing Jolly in July, and I didn't feel like doing anything big because when I finished my piece rows, I thought I want to do some more smalls and have some more finishes. So I did that. So what I did is I pulled out this Christmas Ornaments 2 book from JBW Designs. I just love Judy Whitman. She has become a good friend of mine. We message each other often, and she has a floss tube, and y'all have heard me talk about her, and she has sent me so many patterns to give away to you all. And I just love her Christmas designs. I love all of her designs, but she just has a way of being so creative. I can't show you inside the book because it's the actual pattern, but inside there are all of these little ornaments. But I did the snow globe. I have done plum pudding before. I'll bring that out and show it to you at Christmas when I pull out my ornaments. But she does all of these tiny motifs within the design. So this is snow globe, and you can see a house and a deer and a reindeer and a sled and hearts and a trumpet and trees and a bow and a bird. But it's just so cleverly done that it's like one big design, and then when you look into it, it's just filled with so many surprises. So this one is snow globe, and I used from Priscilla's selection that she does for her Christmas selection. I used Jolly Holly for the green, for the light green. I used English Ivy for the dark green, and I used Ribbon Red for the red. And I think the variegation of the red really is so pretty, and how it just popped on this design. I cannot wait to finish this. It is so pretty. And so I decided to start another one. And what I've done is I have this big piece of fabric, and I'm just gonna do all JBW designs on this. So I started another one. And this one is just a stocking. And you can see a little ice skate in there, a bow, a tree. It's just so much fun. It's like each little motif is just a pleasant surprise. So what I did is I went through my stash and I was like, what white fabric do I have? Because I want these to be on white. Well, I remembered I had these rolled up, this linen that I bought from Très Chic Stitchery. And I had always wanted to try this Azure Linen. This color here is sable sand, but it's 32 count. And this is the antique white that I bought. It came just like this, rolled up like this. And so this is a pretty big piece. This is 50 by 70 centimeters. So, but it's 32 count, and I'm stitching it 2 strands of floss over 2. And I just can't wait to do more of these. I just have the plum pudding for Christmas done. So I'm going to do the skate, I'm drawing a blank, the mittens, and a couple of more. I have several, I think I have a mitten in my stash and a couple of trees. So I'm definitely going to, I'm showing y'all just a white piece of linen. I'm definitely going to add some to my collection. I also have some Halloween ones I'm going to stitch on this same linen. So pretty, so quick. I stitched this all in a day. So much fun. So that is JBW Designs. So those were my 2 Christmas ornament rabbit holes that I went down this week. So what it made me decide to do is my goals coming up for the next few weeks is I want to really focus on Christmas. I did not do a lot of Jolly July stitching because I was busy trying to finish Summer at Cherry Hill. And so now I really want to focus on Christmas because I didn't do that at the first half of July. And so now I know we're ending July, but I'm going to focus on Christmas for the next 2 weeks. That's all I'm going to stitch. Christmas, different things. The only difference is I'm going to keep my Tomato Tuesday. So I'm going to continue working on Counting is Hard because it's just so cute. I have to get that one done. But I'm going to spend 2 weeks focusing on Christmas, my Quaker Christmas. I'm going to do a special whip parade video this weekend. And in that video, I will show you all the things I want to stitch for Christmas. Now I have a lot of things. I have one box full of just Prairie Schooler ornaments and one box just full of Little House Needleworks, all of their Christmas ornaments. So what I show you in that whip parade, they may or may not get done by Christmas, but they're what I would like to do for Christmas between now and Christmas. But for the next 2 weeks, that's all I'm going to do is stitch Christmas. So my goal over the next 2 weeks is only Christmas, and I want to learn, and I'm going to do Christmas finishes because I do have some of my Prairie Schooler Santas that I need to finish into pillows because I don't want to get to Christmas and when I'm decorating and I have a stack of ornaments that I haven't fully finished, I don't want to use that time to finish them because then I'll feel rushed, or I want to be able to put them out when we're decorating. So I want to learn how to make a cord trim. And I bought one of these, I can't pronounce it, Krynic Custom Quarter, and this is what it looks like. It looks like a fun tool. You know, cross stitch, you get fun tools too, not just, you know, power tools and stuff. So you get these cool tools. But I know Vanna with the Twisted Stitcher has a tutorial on how to use this. And I want to learn to do it. And I'm going to practice with DMC thread. And I'm going to use that as some of my trim for some of my ornaments. So cross your fingers, nobody gets hurt. And cross your fingers that I can figure it out because I love the look of the cording made from the DMC floss. So stay tuned for that. Those are my 2 goals for the next few weeks. So let's go into my haul. I kind of got out of order a little bit. So as you know, I am on a, someone called it a haul quarantine. I am not allowed to buy haul, but what that means is Kim Gavlik and I with Stitch Etc. She and I have made a deal that we are not going to buy any new cross stitch patterns except for Blackbirds. We made that addendum after we went under contract. that I am not to buy any cross stitch patterns, but I can purchase floss and fabric and finishing items that I need for current projects. The other addendum to that was anything we had on pre-order. So I had pre-ordered the Brenda Gervais, I think it's Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee. It hasn't arrived yet, but that was the only other addendum. So I can't wait to get that in the mail. So here's what I got. I did get some Blackbird design fabric, patterns. So I went on a couple of Etsy shops. This is from, oh my goodness, Saguaro Stitch, Saguaro Stitch on Etsy. I'll link it below. But from that shop, I got Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer Day? These just came in the mail today, so I have not had a chance to go through them. But I really wanted it for this one right here. And here's the back. I cannot wait to go through this book. I'm tempted to do it in front of you guys, but I don't think you'll like that too much. But here is a close-up of that pillow. I just think that's beautiful. So I got that one from that shop. And then In a Friendship's Way. I had this booklet before, but I loaned it to someone and I never got it back. So I had to get it again. It's a beautiful book. So many wonderful, wonderful designs. And what I love about their tutorials and their books and anything that comes with instructions with Blackbird Designs, they are so detailed. They tell you step by step. They tell you where to purchase it, what to do exactly. And it's really good for someone like me who I know just enough to be dangerous, and to have those kinds of directions is really, really nice. So here is a box that they have in here, and they tell you where to get the box, how to paint it, what trim, how to attach it, all of those things. So many wonderful directions. So this is In a Friendship's Way. Lots of strawberry designs in this one too. The next few Blackbirds that I got from Annabella's shop. I've mentioned her shop before. I will link it below. She's on Etsy. But I've wanted this book for a long time. This is The Winds of Autumn. And I am so ready for autumn. It's my favorite time of the year in East Tennessee, that and spring. But I like all the seasons. But it's so beautiful here. I don't do a lot of autumn fall decorating. I do Halloween decorating, and then I start decorating for Christmas. I used to not do that, but it takes me so long to put out my Christmas that I really want to enjoy it. But I just love this piece, October 31st. So pretty, and that's a quick stitch. And I have an exchange that I need to stitch for this retreat that I'm going to in September, and there may be a few things in here that I might stitch. Look at this cute little drum. So pretty. So that is Winds of Autumn. I haven't looked through it. It just came in the mail today, so I cannot wait to look through it. This is All Joys for Thine. I've wanted this one for a while too. It's very pretty. And then the rest I got from Kitten Stitcher. I'm so excited about this one. I've actually two of these I've not even noticed before, but this is Halloween Greetings. You can do so many different things. This is a cross-stitched piece made into a little pin cushion. You can just do the words and make a smaller pin cushion. And they have a bigger example of that on the back. This is just a quick little booklet. Perfect. And then Away We Ride. I have wanted this for so long. I just love how this is so Halloweenish without being spooky. You know, it is so cute, so pretty. I'm excited about this. You can even take out one of the motifs, if you want to make a small, just like this center house with the blackbird on it, or the one on the tree, and just make a quick little gift for someone if you don't want to stitch a whole big piece for someone. And then I got My Heart Can Rest. This is a beautiful piece. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it, not showing it to you. My Heart Can Rest. And with Brenda the Cereal Starter, she just finished this. And it is so beautiful. It's so elegant. Just so pretty. Very pretty. But it's from a reproduction. They made it from, designed it from an antique sampler. So this is the image of the antique sampler. So pretty. And then I got, last one, Happy Birthday. This is part of the Anniversaries of the Heart series. And it's so pretty. And it's just so small. And it says, Happy Birthday, dear friend. You know, you can change it to anything in there. If you want to change it to someone's name or put someone's birth date in there, you can just do so many different things. So those were all of my Blackbird haul. And then I was sent a message from a fellow Flosstuber who notified me of this beautiful fabric. Celeste, with Celeste Creates. I'll link her Flosstube below as well. She and I have been messaging each other, but I ordered this fabric from Cottage Couture Fabric, and it's an Etsy shop. But Celeste saw this fabric on the shop, and she just thought of me, and I just love it. I love it so much. So it's a fat quarter bundle. So I'm going to show you each of these. So here's this one. I've got to show you this side. It has chickens. Look at that. All those chickens. And it's blue. Chickens in blue. It's so pretty. I don't want to open it all up because I'll never fold it back this way. But that house, oh, it's so beautiful. I just love toile fabric. This is a Wyndham fabric. So these are Wyndham fabrics. English Garden is the line. Isn't that beautiful? I'll link her shop below, but this was a fat quarter bundle and it came within 2 days. I ordered it and she messaged me and said, your fabric is on the way. Oh, look at this with the ducks. So cute, and the little bunnies. Oh, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. I don't know what I'm going to make out of this, but it's beautiful. This blue with the flowers. So pretty. And this one. I'm going to have to go and find some backing fabric now that I know. It's English Garden Wyndham Fabrics. I'll list that below as well. So pretty. I'm just dying. It's so pretty. And then last one, these are chickens and bunnies, cats and ducks, just all those English garden and English farm things that you would find. It reminds me of when I went to the Cotswolds in England, a charming little town, little village in England, but just so sweet. Oh, I cannot wait. And the shop owner, I told her that I was going to mention her shop on this channel today, because I just think this fabric is so pretty, and she had a lot of good choices, and I just love that she shipped it so fast. So I will link her shop below, but it's Cottage Couture Fabrics on Etsy. All right, now into my happy mail. I did get some nice gifts today, and I wanted to go through it all with you because I think it's so nice. First of all, you do not need to send me a card if you're a winner of something. You do not need to do that. I appreciate it though, and you all are so nice and so sweet. But Stephanie sent me all the little swatches of Aida fabric to tell me a little bit more about dyed Aida. So when I start my blog post on different types of fabric, my daughter said she would help me figure out the blogging part. I will mention these, but she sent me a swatch of all these different color Aidas, and because she wanted me to feel how soft it is when you dye Aida. And of course I knew that because of the Fabrics by Stephanie. I've purchased the dyed Aida before, but these are all beautiful, and it does soften it up a lot when it is dyed. So Stephanie, thank you. She also sent me 2 beautiful cards and a long note about all the different types of Aida. And then she sent me some scissors in this beautiful little pouch. So sweet. And of course it's blue, my favorite. But she made these cards, and look how cute that is. I keep all my cards. I keep everything. And then she also sent this card. So pretty. Thank you for taking the time to do that, Stephanie. Another gift that I received in a card from another viewer is from Sharon. She sent me this pretty card with this beautiful floss, JU Designs, and this color is My Little Bluebird. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. And I already know what I'm going to do with this. When I went to Keepsakes a couple of weeks ago, I got the Heart and Hand Bluebird alphabet or Bluebird sampler. I'm going to use this for my blue on that Bluebird. So thank you so much. I've never used this floss. I've never used this floss before. Thank you so much. And then Kim, who I told you all about, I bumped into her and met her for the first time at Keepsakes. She asked if she could send me a pattern to use as a giveaway. And I said yes. So she sent me Antique Bird Sampler. And I thought that was so sweet. She just said that after getting it, she decided it just is not something that she's going to stitch, but it has so many beautiful little motifs. Even if you don't want to stitch this, this is the beauty of samplers. So if you look at a sampler and you think, I cannot stitch that whole thing, well, chances are there are little motifs you can pull out of samplers, and this one has a lot. So I don't want to take it out because it breaks the seal. This is one that's sealed. But here in the corner, it says the birds and the bees. Well, that can be one little motif there that you can take out and stitch into a little pin keep or a needle book for someone. This one over here says the early bird gets the worm. You can do the same. You can make a little present with that. Put it on a tag. So many choices. So thank you so much for sending this to me, Kim. I will use that as a giveaway. And then 2 more happy mails. Linda, I just received this. Thank you so much. She sent me some more things to use as giveaways. I love them. I appreciate it. And I will continue to share those with everyone. And then I shared with you all Gamma's Treasures. Her name is Dawn, and I will link her shop below. She has beautiful project bags, and she has just sent me the sweetest note. This is her Gamma's Treasures, and I will link her shop, but she is in Canada, but don't let that discourage you from ordering from her. Her shipping is very reasonable. It is not any more than if you had purchased one from the States. I got it very quickly, but she did mention in her note that she will be doing some traveling over the next few weeks, and her shop will be on vacation mode, but to please check back. But Gamma's Treasures. And look at how beautiful this is. I love it. I love the toile. I love toile fabric, but this green is so pretty. And all of her bags come with a floss keeper. So your floss sticks on it, and while you're working on your project, it holds your thread in place so that if it doesn't fly away, or it just helps you keep it organized. And then she said she's going to start carrying these in her shop as well. And they are called, oh my goodness, magnetic thread bed. This is a bonus. This is a pouch. She's just calling it a pouch to match your bag. And look how pretty that is. And the detail that she does on all of her bags are just beautiful. So thank you so much, Dawn. I will link her shop below. I also have one of her bags as a giveaway today to share with you all. So that is all of my happy mail that I have to show you. So what's up next? Let's do some, I wanted to remind you, I'm going to do 2 special edition videos. Actually, I mentioned one, which is the whip parade. I'm going to do a whip parade this weekend, and in that whip parade, I'm going to share all of my whips. Even I have whips that I don't show you all. So I'm going to share all of my whips, and I'm going to share my Christmas goals. So all the things I hope to stitch for Christmas this year. I'm also going to do a Quaker Christmas edition, a separate video, and that's for those of you who want to know more about the Quaker Christmas. I'm going to have some Quaker Christmas or some Quaker just some history and some information to go along with that, and show you the progress I am making on my Quaker Christmas. I've decided to do that on the 25th of every month between now and maybe until I finish, or to the end of November. If it takes me longer than that to finish, then we'll keep going. But the 25th of every month, I will do, or around there, if the 25th happens to fall on a day that I cannot film, I'll film early and post it on the 25th. So those are 2 special edition Flosstubes that I will try. I will definitely do the whip parade this weekend, and today's the 22nd. So in a couple of days, on the 25th, I will do the Quaker Christmas update. And then some Flosstubers that I wanted to shout out to you. I watch a lot of my regular Flosstubers I watch, and I've told y'all about those. They're all wonderful. There's so many wonderful Flosstubers. I love to watch Brenda and the Cereal Starter, and Elizabeth Ann can stitch, and Pam and Steph just keep stitching, and crisscross stitch. He and I started not far apart from each other. Artie with the vintage stitcher. All of these are just Finally a Farm Girl, and Lori Holt, and Pumpkin Hollow quilts, and crosshatch quilts. I love to watch all of these Flosstubers. The Flosstube community has been so good to me, and I know that there are some Flosstubers that not everybody has heard of, because there's so many of us out there, it's hard to find everybody. So one new Flosstuber, her name is Danielle, and her channel is called Lovins_Stitchin'. I will link that below. But she lives actually not far from me. She lives probably maybe an hour, 20 minutes from me. But her finishing is beautiful in perfection and just creative. She is very just meticulous with her stitching, but yet it looks like something, it's not complicated. It's just, she just does such a good job. I love to watch her. She is just a joy. Her name is Danielle. The other is Celeste Creates. I've mentioned her before. I'll link her below, but she does cross stitch and quilting, and her quilting videos are called Quilty Tubes, and I think that's just adorable. But she shows you a lot of practical tips. She shows you how to do things, just how to do all kinds of different things, and gives you so many wonderful advice and tips on both cross stitch and on quilting. A couple of things to look forward in the future for me is like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do some quilting collaborations coming up, and I'm excited to announce those soon. So I actually have my sewing station set up almost back to where it needs to be from when I was in the basement. So it's just a lot of I want to make sure everything's in the right place, and just so once I start sewing a quilt, it is done easily, and not I'm stopping and looking for something. So look for that. And then let's go into some giveaways. I'm going to do something a little different this time with my giveaways. I am going, instead of using a number system, I'm going to use a word system just to see how that translates into our giveaway comments. So we'll see how it works. But first, let's go through this week's winners. So I had, 5 giveaways. So here we go. The first was JBW Designs. JBW, Judy Whitman, she sent me so many wonderful giveaways. So thank you, Judy. I will also link her Flosstube below. She's another one that I enjoy watching. She tells you step by step how she does a lot of her finishing and where her inspiration comes from. So these 2 Christmas packets were number 1. They go to Lori Morales, Morales, Lori Morales. The second one is to Patricia. I do this every week. I have a hard time with pronouncing some things. I apologize. Please know I try. Patricia Girard, Girard, U1 Pineberry Lane. This one is Marie Journette, 1863. Number 3 was Blue Ribbon Designs, Dixie Cat Creations. Number 4 is from Kim Gavlik with Stitch Etc. That goes to Sarah Grimes Emmons, Emmons, Sarah. And number 5 is Blackbird Design, Merry Christmas. This is the one that I purchased 2 of. This goes to Connie Bell, B-E-L-L, Connie Bell. Here are some of the new rules for my giveaways. Please be a subscriber, like the video, do not mention giveaway, be 18 or older because you have to share your address with me, and you have 1 week to respond to the announcement that you won the prize. So you can email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com. That's also linked below. And just, I ship everywhere. It does not matter where you live. As long as the U.S. Postal Service will mail it to you, I will ship it to you. If by chance in the future I have something that's different, I will let you know that as well. So now for my next giveaway, here is what we have. So I have mentioned before, and Kim Gavlik with Stitch Etc. has always been so supportive of me as a friend and as a Flosstuber, and she has shared a lot of her products with us. You know, the wooden boards that she shares with us are wonderful. She has shared Ort containers with us that she makes. This week she is giving away a magnetic board, and I'm going to show you my magnetic board, and I'm going to try not to make a big old mess. Okay. So here's my magnetic board, and I have all of my, I have my sticky note on it. I have a lot of my needle minders on here that aren't being used. So this is a magnetic board that she sells. She is offering it to you in different colors. At the time that you win and email her, she'll let you know the colors she has available, but usually it's blue, pink, purple, green, white, black, orange. I think those are all the colors that she has. So I use my magnetic board when I go to retreats. I use it on this stand, and it holds my pattern in place. So while I'm stitching at a table, it's in front of me on the table. And then I have my pattern on the magnetic board, and I can follow along with what I need. It's also fun to show all of your needle minders or have other things sitting on your magnetic board. It just sort of claims your space, and it's just a lot of fun. A lot of people use their magnetic boards at home. I don't need to. I put my pattern on my magnifier. I use my needle minder and magnet to hold it in place there. But that is number 1. I'm sorry, I went through all of this explanation to tell you, thank you, Kim Gavlik with Stitch Etc. for sharing the magnetic board with us. But that is number 1. So I just said I was going to use numbers. So if you are interested in the magnetic board, use the word magnet. Somewhere in your comment, use the word magnet. Magnet for that one. All right, the second one is a La-Di-Da Garden Maiden. This is a wonderful pattern. goes through a lot of explanation and directions and instructions on how to make this into a needle book. So pretty, but it's Garden Maiden. If you're interested in this one, say garden in your comment. The next one is 32 count cappuccino linen. I figured since we were talking about linen last week, we would do this. This is 32 count cappuccino linen. It's cut into size 13 by 17, and it's a beautiful shade of brown. So if you're interested in this one, use the word cappuccino in your comment below. And then the next one is Threadwork Primitives, Ever So Grateful. In your comment below, use the word grateful. And then last but not least is from Gamma's Treasures. Thank you so much, Dawn. This adorable bag with the bees. It has bees and flowers. So cute. So use the word bumblebee, or yeah, let's use bumblebee, B-E-E, in your comment below. So I also want you to answer for me, what are your stitching goals over the next few weeks? Do you have any stitching goals? Or for this year, what are your stitching goals? So comment below, like my video, subscribe, and just use those words corresponding with the items that you are interested in. Please don't use the word giveaway. Thank you so much for watching this week. I will see you this weekend for my whip parade. I hope you enjoy that. It will be my first one ever. I will have a giveaway with that as well. Actually, I'll have several giveaways with the whip parade video. So make sure to watch that and have a good week and enjoy your time stitching and just have fun. Thank you.